get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
I tell you what, I don't know why we paid that guy so much money to make this intro for us if he's going to call me those names all the damn time. Because I really don't think I'm doing such a bad job. Max is not here with us tonight because he is down in the Keys, Florida Keys, doing parasailing and all kinds of other fun shit. Our good buddy Scott down there from Barrow and Furnace, he's had a good week. How are you today, Scott? Sorry,
yeah, I've had worse weeks, mate. It's been great. So shout out to Commander Nash. She sent through a signed RG3 jersey through me through the post. I won his competition, and unfortunately we didn't get to go back to his car when we were at the Red Zone lot on game home day opener. So
what did you give him a tugger behind the dumpster?
Yeah, he just said, look, you know what, I'll send it through to you. And I said, yeah, no bother, mate, you just send it through. So I think it cost him a fair penny as well. I think it's like $85 to send it through. So
international shipping is expensive.
Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not good. But shout out to him. So yeah, if you enter his competitions, he does follow through on his promises.
That's good. Top man. All right, well, just to throw back the curtain a little bit, the reason I introduced Scotty before I introduced our good friend Jesse over there from southeastern Pennsylvania. Oh, wait, there we go. It's because southeastern Virginia. I don't know what the fuck's going on. The fact of the matter is I had to play Scotty's little thing here. I had to play Scotty's little... to fucking pick my nose for a second. I had something stuck there, man. It's bothering me. So, yeah. Anyway, here's our good friend from southeastern Virginia, Jessy Martin, checking in with an ear infection. How you doing?
Yeah, I've had better days.
Yeah, that's not what Scott said. But look, man, I didn't get the video down. I've got to get this video down for at least for Monday of you digging out beaver dens. Now, is this something? Okay, now that sounds like a cop busting up a brothel. However, that's only funny to older people like us who know that beaver used to be called a beaver because it had fucking hair all over it. And young people today,
that's true.
They don't bother with that shit. So,
no,
good for you. That's fantastic. I'll tell you what, there was nothing worse, and I mean, at the same time, nothing better than when you're 13 years old and you're down in some apartment building storage room that you're not supposed to be in, and you find a bunch of magazines you're not supposed to look at, and there's hair that goes from the inside of her thigh all the way up practically or to her navel, but you're like, oh yeah, 1974. You know what I mean, Scott, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Well, I gotta say, since we're gonna go down that road, you Japanese people could learn to fucking find a razor. That's all I'm gonna say. People are fucking rotten with that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we got a big game coming up with the Cleveland Browns, but we are in our general bullshit session. So, Jesse, please tell everybody what the hell you were doing the other day. You were what?
Yeah. So we have a lot of parks and trails and a lot of water around this area, obviously, and some of the paved trails that we have. We put culverts and pipes down there to, move water from one area to another when it rains a lot. It's been raining a lot. And we have beavers that like to dam up these pipes. And
well, fuck yeah. Might as well. You did half the work for them already.
Yeah. So I have to get, and the conservationists, game warding, and hippies don't want us to, quote unquote, relocate the beavers or put a bullet in their head because of
because they're beavers.
They think they're going to go endangered or whatnot. So I have to get waders on once in a while, climb in there and basically unclog 30 foot by 3 feet long pipes, and it takes forever because them freaking beavers, they know how to pack, and mud and sticks, and it's a pain in the ass. So yeah, that was my week.
This sounds like Scott's trip over here to the States is what it sounds like to me. So, Jesse, if you had these skills, why didn't you help a brother out there, man? That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Just a rubber glove. It probably would have been on a smaller scale. But.
Well, you don't need the whip with 1/3 of an inch pipe cleaner for me. No, so I hope you had your waders on, mate, and it was all good. It was all good fun. Rodding drains is not a good thing to do, mate. Is that where you think you got your ear infection from? Then is it, Jesse?
I mean, I wasn't swimming or anything. It's just
You might as well. I mean, you're down there.
I didn't go underwater. I was just in water. Like waist deep, chest deep, some areas. But
That's kind of fun when you got waders on.
So we also, because like the debris that the beavers pack in there, we put it in like a dump trailer and load it out, haul it out. So it takes them longer to dam it up because we got over 10,000 pounds worth of debris out of those pipes.
Wow,
That does sound like your weekend here, Scott.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
it probably does. But to be fair, though, that noise that you all heard if you're watching live on YouTube, that was John's phone going off telling him that his doctor's got his erectile dysfunction medicine ready for him. So.
Now, I know who it is. It's probably I know who it is, and I probably know why he's calling. But I'm on the show here. Sorry, the show must go on, Vinny. So if you're paying attention, great. If you're not, which it seems like you're not, why not?
The Bleeding Beaver podcast. Yeah, that's right. That's what we need to call it. No,
We're not doing that. Boy.
No.
We will get a whole new audience, man.
Oh, man.
Bunch of guys sitting around in fucking raincoats and wellies sitting in here.
Sounds like a Diddy party.
All right, so let's get an update here for the Yanks and Wanks. I hope you have one ready there, Jesse, because I'm kind of surprising this on you here. But we didn't do one last week. And we should have done one last week because you lost.
Well, look,
You were undefeated.
I knew it was going to happen sometime. Just like with Jaden's interceptions, you knew it was going to happen, and I let it happen early in the season.
Well, you let it happen. That's nice because it happened. It happened to me. That's what happened. It happened that I came along and said, "Fuck your undefeated season." So man. So give us another update. Go ahead. How we do? Do we know yet a 4-game in score between the Yanks and the Wanks?
Let me put up league standings here real
Surprised
quick.
Scotty doesn't already have this written down somewhere.
Right now, in the Yanks division, I'm in first place still. We have Yam in second. John, you're in third. Max is in fourth. We go by points for other than record. All right. Scott is obviously leading the Wanks the Wanks. He's leading.
Right, man, like this. Grab a hold of it right under the bell end.
But not,
exactly that. Yeah.
With a 4-0 record, but right behind him is Joseph. I'm leading. I'm leading total points. So
You see, Scott, how we had to get around to that?
From total points, I think we're ahead because we have more players in our division with more points than players in their division.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm glad that you went through all that trouble to answer my question, just so that I could go back again to say I beat your ass on last weekend.
Okay, I guess
4-0, 4-0, but I'm 63 points down now, and the Falcons have done me dirty against Tony.
I sent you a trade
his
offer.
first loss, but you
I
know
know.
what? Hey, if I got an undefeated season, y'all wouldn't hear the end of it. So it's better that I go ahead and
That's
lose
right.
one time. So
Well, one time.
I've got that crown. I'm making sure it's big enough for my head. I'm glad it's not Scouse's crown, but there you go.
Darren, welcome to the chat, and everybody
Darren?
else. Ken and
Alan's
Mike's
in
in
with us as
here,
well.
and Alad is in here, and
So does your
Brian,
opponent have-
of course?
Your opponent have Kirk Cousins?
No, Drake
Darnell
London.
Mooney.
Drake London was where Tony's, I think, done very well there. So yeah, it's still going to be close, but it depends on what people do. I've benched Kyler Murray this week, and I've gone with Brock Purdy. So
That's a good start. I mean,
we'll
that's,
see.
honestly, when you look at Purdy, he's had his best game when he didn't have his best receivers in there. When Debo was out and Kittle was out, that's when he was flying, rolling. And I did send you a trade offer this week. I don't know if
I've
you
seen
saw
it.
that.
I just sent it back to you. Sent one back to you via WhatsApp chat. So
All right.
yeah,
I'll take a look at that.
I'm quite interested in a few of your players as well. So we'll see.
I'm a wheeler
we
dealer,
got-
man.
We got Tony and Scott. John and Max are going against each other.
Okay.
Scouse and Mark, poor Scouse hasn't got a win all season, are going against each other.
He's not getting one this weekend either.
Because he tied his name to a loser kicker who right now is fucking making Whoppers at Burger King.
All that shit he talked in the beginning of the season before we went off.
I'm a fantasy genius,
We
bro.
got Toothpick and Joseph, and me and I'm going against the Yam. So it'll be
Yam's
interesting.
team
Big
is
game
tough.
of the week.
Yam's team is tough. Yam's got those 2 running backs, man, and they can put up tons of points.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I ain't scared. But yeah, that's that on the fantasy. I'm still in first place leading the Americans, and Scott's in first place leading the British folks.
But who has a better record, Jesse? Oh, I do. 4-0.
Hey.
Thanks very much.
4-0. I think the
you're
guy
about
I'm playing.
to be tied with me this week, there, Bub. So
No.
you got
Yeah,
two
you're
more
right.
days. You got 2 more days to talk your shit.
Who's Brian Dayble's balls or whatever his name is? Who is that?
That's Yam.
that's
That's
Yam.
Yam.
No, wait. I played him last
Blue
week.
to balls.
Blue to balls. Okay, so I played him last week. So whoever I'm playing this week does have Darnell Mooney. So I got my game. He jumped off to a hot start.
Yeah, you're playing. You're playing Max this week.
Oh, right. Okay, so Darnell Mooney was in there. And goddamn it, Kirk, throw it to Drake London. You know, I mean, Drake London had a great game, but why do you keep throwing it to Darnell Mooney? It drives me crazy as a Drake London owner. All right.
It drives me crazy as the Mark Andrews owner that he hasn't done shit all friggin' season long.
Yeah.
But enough fantasy talk.
Well, okay, that's fine. Somebody cut loose Isaiah Likely, and I snatched him up. I mean, shit, it can't last forever. Okay, all right. So let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. First off, how do you like being in the national spotlight for the last 2 weeks?
No, sir, I don't like it.
Don't like
Yeah,
it.
I think
you
it's
don't
too
like
much.
it.
It's too much too soon.
I think that really all depends. Well, no, it's not. It's really not.
It
If
is.
you were a
Really
national pundit instead of just a freaking digging for beavers in podcast land, if you were a national pundit and you looked at our start, not just the Commanders, but Jaden Daniels' start is historic, you'd have to talk about it.
Sure,
You'd
you
have
can
to
talk about it, but these guys are already saying MVP. These guys are already saying that the playoffs is basically written that we're going to win the division. We've played awful defenses, not even mid-grade defense. They were all bad, and when we played a good defense, we were shit. So this week is going to tell a story because it is a good defense that we're going up against.
I agree with you in what you're saying. I think the next 2 weeks are probably pivotal to where we actually are within this season. The Browns and the Ravens are very, very tough. But at the same time, people are wax lyrical about Jaden. People are saying, the playoffs are guaranteed, as you said. And I'd like to pump the brakes a little bit on that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I don't mind the national conversation. I don't mind that we're getting a bit of love. I'm liking the fact that I see the offensive line is, top 5 at the moment, which is great to see. Something that we thought was going to be our Achilles heel this season. Defense is starting to put it together. It did last week. Whether you liked it or not, they showed up and it was complimentary football throughout. And we just got to keep the pedal to the metal again this week and hope that we play well against what is a beaten up Browns side. Let's be honest here, they've got 5 offensive linemen who are not playing this weekend, so we should be able to do well on defense.
Have they already been put out? Because I was listening to the radio today that's saying they were getting some of them back.
Even if they
Okay.
do, he's been hit 49 times in 4
I
games.
mean, I can read you
Sure.
what there is here. So you got Nick Chubb with the knee was limited. Jack Conklin did not practice again today. That's 3 days on the trot. Who's their offensive tackle with a hamstring. Michael Dunn, guard, illness, didn't practice again. Martin Emerson, cornerback, is a game day concussion protocol. Miles Garrett didn't practice again today.
Yeah, but he's
so that's
playing.
2 days,
he'll
but
play.
he will
He'll
probably
play.
play.
He
That's an
definitely will
That's an Achilles injury. Jordan Hicks, who's one of their very good middle linebackers, ribs, elbow, and tricep, didn't practice for 3 days straight. Naheem Himes was limited with a knee. James Hudson, offensive tackle, shoulder. DeJuan Jones, knee. Jerry Jeudy, knee. Greg Newsome, second. It was personal reasons, didn't practice for 2 days. David Njoku was limited. The list goes on. Jedrick Wills didn't practice again for a knee. So I've just listed 5 linemen there who were on the injury report somewhere in some way, shape or form. Now, looking at that, we've got quite a beat-up team as well by the looks of it. But this Cleveland team, if you've got second and third string offensive tackles in, we should be able to do well. You've got to go do well here.
I'm gonna start a jar, Scott, that says that every time you say that, you've got to put a pound in it, and we will go to dinner at the end of the season for every time. And I'm not saying this about you. It's just that we hear this all the time. We should be able to run this freaking offensive line over.
Yep.
All right. He's been hit. Deshaun's been hit 49 times in 4 games. Far and away the most. In fact, I was listening to a fantasy
11
podcast.
11 sacks as well, I think, so far.
I was listening to a fantasy podcast this morning. I think it was Adam Azer. Good call on this. Was that he has been hit between him and the number 2 guy. All right, is the same distance between the number 2 and the number 16 guy. He's been hit far and away the most. We've got to be able to get on him because you know what? For one, I don't like Deshaun Watson. I think he's a rapist bastard, for one. And number 2, I think his contract kind of fucked the league a little bit, and I can't wait for the Browns to have to pay for it. And number 3, the last time he came to town, he was brand new coming back from one of his other suspensions. Mm-hmm. And in the second half, we had that game as far as I was concerned. We were playing well in that game. We had it under control at halftime, and then in the second half, he just went nuts and beat us. So fuck him. I want some revenge.
7-3 at halftime, I think.
Yeah, that's well in hand. No.
For me, I'm not saying, Jesse, I completely understand where you're coming from, but weirdly enough, over these first 4 games, if you want to call it a quarter of a season, I know the schedule's changed to not make it a quarter. I'm optimistic now going into Sundays, which I've never kind of been before. I've always been a bit pessimistic. Well, we could do well here. This is a winnable game, but it is also a trap game.
Yes,
I agree.
And it's something that I understand exactly where your pessimism is coming from, and it's not from the want of saying, oh, this team isn't ready, because I do think this team is ready, and I do think we will score points on Sunday, but it's going to be very tough because it is a very good defense, and that is the question.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett's a problem. He's a Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned.
100%
Very interested to see how Jaden does, because to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. In their defense, they got some great corners. They got a great secondary out there.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Delpit, Newsome. They have
Owusu Koromoa at linebacker is very good.
They're very fast.
More than that in pass coverage because we're hitting everybody.
Then you have Myles Garrett barreling down. Listen, he's been hurt all season and still racking up sacks. Still eating everybody's
He got
lunch.
4 last week, didn't he?
Yeah. So, they got to have a plan for Myles Garrett. And what they're going to want to do is rush Jaden, and then when you rush the passer, and you have good cornerbacks, that's a recipe for disaster right there.
Well, it depends.
Going against a rookie. Now. Our guy Jaden has looked great under pressure, okay? Really, really good under pressure. But still, who has he really gone up against?
I don't care. He's gone up against who they've put in front of him. And the thing about this is
that's
you
all
can put him under pressure, and other teams have put him under pressure. The thing about him is you better contain him once you get him under pressure because he squeezes out of there and he can hurt you. All right, he hasn't broken off a big one yet, but it's very possible. But go ahead.
Scotty just mentioned Owusu Koromoa.
They're linebackers.
I think that's where he's going to come in because I think, and this might be a positive, depending. Karamoa is very fast, and I think they're going to use him as a spy on Jaden.
That's fine. Take a guy off
know.
off of the receiving cord. Give Jaden somebody one-on-one. He'll find him. He'll hit him. I'm with Scott. I'm going in confident, even though I am also 100% with you, Scott. This is a trap game. They are a capable football team. I think that when Jesse said earlier, I'm going to agree with both of you. When you said we're going to learn a lot about this team this week, I think you're right. We've got a lot of accolades. We've got another Pepsi Rookie of the Week honor for Jaden. We've got a Rookie of the Month honor for Jaden. We've got MVP talk, which we'll get to in a minute. And let's see how they handle being in the spotlight a little bit. I don't have the video for it, but you guys saw the Frankie Luvu Haka in the locker room.
Oh, it's class. Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, it's the Sippy Tau anyway, but we're not calling it a hacker because he's from Samoan descent. So let's get it right on the podcast. But come on, man.
People from Oxford.
I will say this. I know we're not scoring 40 points in this game.
No, that's true. That's very true.
I don't think we're going to come that close to 30, to be honest with you.
Oh, I do. I do.
But listen to the words you're saying, though. Listen to what you're saying. We might not come close to 30. Yeah. The fact that that's even the low level mark, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
tells
I know
you see the difference in this team. It's not a load of bullshit.
The issue is we cannot stop the run. Whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And Jerome Ford's
a good running back.
Yeah,
he is a good running back.
And no matter what you feel against Deshaun Watson, he has been playing better. He had an interception that shouldn't have been an interception last week. It bounced right out of the receiver's hand, popped up, and was taken back. I think was it taken back for a pick six? I'm not sure. But he has been playing, and he has been running the ball more, and that kind of scares me with this defense. Jerome Ford and Chubb might play. He might be playing.
He might play.
And that, too, because they can turn the tide on us and do what we've done and play keep away. Keep the ball away
from 90 yards.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
The keys to winning this game is we've been playing a lot of 13 personnel. Three tight end sets as well. You've got to chip. When we need to chip, when we're going against a Myles Garrett, when you see him going against maybe a rookie in Coleman, we need that tight end Bates maybe to block on and make sure he is blocking. But at the same time, we're lauding this team because we know how good the Browns are on defense. But I'm looking at this stat box and I'm not that impressed. I mean, I'm looking here at the top tackler on their team is Owusu Koromo with 34, and they have not got an interception at all this season.
They're like us. They haven't turned the ball over much at all. And they're like us. They don't have an interception.
So what we have to say then is that we've got to continue the way we're going on the ground game and run Brian Robinson, run McNichol, run Austin Eckler. That's what we've got to do to win this game because as you've said many times, John, and I completely understand your philosophy. You run the ball, it opens up the play action later.
It opens up everything. Three things that you just mentioned, three guys you just mentioned. Number one, Brian Robinson. I don't know why he missed 2 days of practice, and I don't know what happened with him today. Number two, Jeremy McNichols. You were talking about chipping somebody. That man went to the Clinton Portis School of frickin' running back blocking, as far as I can see. And the third name that you mentioned, which I've now forgotten because I'm going to fucking make some goddamn dog soup. Eckler, I'm not expecting much out of him. I mean, this dude, I don't know how bad his concussion is still going to be hanging over for him. So I wouldn't put too much on him. I am going to kill my dogs.
Eckler was on the Grant and Danny show, and he's full go. He said.
Yeah,
he said.
So
I listened to Quinn before we got on the pod here from today, and he said Eckler's fine. Noah Brown is out, as Brian's just pointed out. That's a big miss.
Yeah, I think
that's
we
a
should
big miss.
hopefully
Brown's
see
out?
a big game.
Yeah, he's out.
A big game
that
from Luke McCaffrey since Brown's out. Listen, they're a defensive coordinator. He used to coach. Name's on the tip of my tongue. He used to coach the Lions. Really, really good defensive coordinator. Damn it!
I think I know who you're talking about, but it's coming off my head. Go ahead.
Man, who is the coach for the defensive coordinator? He used to coach the Lions. He was the head coach of the Lions. But damn, he's a
Van Joseph?
Jim Schwartz.
No.
Oh, I should have known that.
Yeah.
Jim Schwartz, my close personal friend.
Yeah.
He emailed me one day.
Be with you. Listen, somebody's going to start
a Spaceballs reference.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Where's Deluxe? He should have been here for that.
The Jim Schwartz is a great coach, and at some point in some time, somebody's going to figure Jaden out a little bit and kind of bring him back down to earth some.
Sure,
And
somebody's going to clock him.
It could be Jim Schwartz, man. It could be. We can't expect 30 points a game. We can't expect 80% completion percentage. That's going
right.
to start coming down. But hats off to Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, him and Jaden are setting records. I think that record is on Cliff just as much as it's on Jaden, because Cliff's calling his offense.
Absolutely, and we have to be
said all
careful
along.
that.
Go ahead, Scott.
Go on, no, you go, John. Sorry, mate.
I've said it all along, and I even gave him butt pat last week on the show. By the way, we've got to start really giving out trophies for this, because the Bleeding Burgundy podcast butt pat is going around as something that is to be wanted. To the coaching staff, man, I love the way. Go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just going to say that the coaching staff does need real. It needs to be called out here to say that they're doing a very good job. I mean, Brian Johnson, Bobby Johnson, Anthony Lynn's made a massive difference to this run game. And then we look at what Cliff is doing. I mean, in all seriousness, if he keeps this up, we're going to struggle to keep hold of him. We really are. He will most likely, if this continues the way it's going with Jaden, be in that head coaching conversation.
I don't know if he
maybe we
wants
do
to,
lose
though.
him. I don't know if he does, but maybe we lose him. But maybe Josh Harris says, "Hey, Cliff, here's double your salary." I don't know. He could do something like that. But they are doing very, very well, and we're not used to this. And I think that's probably why you're a little bit more pessimistic this week than I am. What's it going to take, Jesse, to get you on that Super Bowl train with me and Mike Allen? We're going to go off and choo-choo all the way to New Orleans. No, you're not with us? Not with us yet? I can't buy you a ticket? No? Oh, okay then. John, do you want a ticket to the Super Bowl train with me and Mike Allen?
I'm always ready to jump on board a bandwagon. And no, I'm not going to hurt my dog, Mike. Don't worry about that. But the dog that just is roaming around my yard while the fat woman stands out in the fucking street goes, "Come here! Come here!" Jesus fucking Christ. Come down and get him. You don't hear the goddamn mayhem going on in my house? Anyway, I was trying to say what Cliff has done, and what the offensive coaches in particular have done, is they have, and I don't even know if you guys went over this, but they've gone ahead and taken what Jaden's able to do, and they've expanded it, and he hasn't missed a beat. I think that this VR helps him so much that when we watched, we said it last week, when we watch him out there on the field with rookies, they're always cautious, and they always know that no matter what, we say it all the time, this guy will know how to scheme for a rookie, or he'll confuse a rookie. Nothing's confused him yet. He's getting through 4 reads and then back again before he decides that he's going to take off, which is great for the offensive line. And B, the coaching is so good. He's not the typical rookie that, and especially
Bowles did a really good job.
Yeah, he did. I'll give him that. But Bowles is one of the best. Come on, man.
Right,
we
and that's
know
his
that.
first game. And really, we've seen that the Bucs are a pretty good football team, even though
They are.
Kirk
They are.
got him last night.
And the other thing as well on that, with the VR headset, I agree with you exactly with what you're saying there, John. You can get them mental reps in. You can get that practice in before you even looking at doing anything strenuous to the body, which helps. But at the same time, Jaden's came into this as a 55-game starter, and that is the difference. He's not an Anthony Richardson who's had a year, a Will Levis who's had a year.
A broken year, yeah.
But it's true, though. They get hyped up beyond belief, these quarterbacks, and then we finally think, oh, my God, we might have one here. And I'm sure the Indianapolis Colts fans are thinking this as well, and they're thinking, oh, my God, is he a bust? We're not like that with Jaden. I think that helps by having that SEC 55 starts. It's massive. It's a massive difference. He isn't, for wanting of a better term, he is a rookie in the NFL terms, but he's not in the maturation of what he's played football.
All right, I'm going to show you all this video real quick while I'm sitting here trying to get my brain back together. Unless, Jesse, you got a comment there?
Nope.
All right, let me see if I can make this work. We'll go with this. Mr. Hamster, you up inside my ass. Oh, Mr. Hamster, all up inside my ass. You better stop your running round. I'm on TV and I got to throw a pass. This is Harry Sphincter's new album, by the way. You've known it all along, 'cause I told you in my song. Now won't you be my friend? Get something rounded on the end. Make sure it's long and straight, 'cause that's what feels great. I got nowhere to go, so work it nice and slow and stick it up my butt. Up my butt. Lick your finger, baby, lick your thumb. Lick your fingers, oh baby, lick your thumb. Ball your hand into a fist and stick it up my bum. I know you know me, my name gets around. I'm the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Now stick it in. Go on and get the Crisco, and woman, don't be no fool. I said go on and get the Crisco, and woman, don't be no fool. Strap on this here dildo, ride this Sean like a ready mule. Name is Watson and I play for the Browns. I like running, passing, and scoring touchdowns. Now here is something that I bet you don't know. I like sticking things up in my butthole. Yep, no matter what it is, I'm game for anything. Go get a candle, a salami from the fridge. Just warm it up, please. Oh, maybe just a smidge. A banana, a broomstick, even a flagpole. I like sticking things up my butthole. Go Browns! Thanks for all the money. Yep. There we go. All right. So.
Oh, it's Harry Sphincter.
Hey, wait. How do I do this? All right, I'm gonna do that. Wait. Do I leave?
No, he's gone.
Yeah, see ya.
And just like that, Harry's gone.
Harry Sphincter's gone.
He is, yeah. The most versatile singer, apparently, according to Frank Sinatra.
Yes, he's an amazing performer. So, sorry, I don't know how to turn it off without me getting thrown out of here there. But there you go. There's some Harry Sphincter talking about the Browns. Yep.
I had a over-under on how many massage parlors Deshaun Watson visits while he's in D.C.
Well, you know, if I'm going to make any recommendations to you fine ladies, he's probably flown in this afternoon. So load up on the rubber gloves. For sure. Well,
I have a stinky finger.
Yeah, well, you can wash it in the sink. That's the best thing. So all of you people that are out there paying attention to us right now, that are over there on Twitter, come on over here on YouTube and give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and give us all kinds of stuff, including money if you want to. I don't think we have a donation button, but we do have a physical address, and I'll tell you that if you DM me.
It's not broadcasting on Twitter.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Why not?
Because you didn't post it on
Well, there you
Twitter.
go.
I didn't? What the hell
It's
is
only
that?
on the YouTube channel.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, there you go.
Well, fuck that. I don't know why that happened, but I guess that happened.
Yeah, I'll fix that real quick.
That's all right. So you people that have been here watching us on the YouTube channel, thanks very much. You are our best friends, and that's for sure. All right, so
I just noticed that. Why it wasn't broadcasting on YouTube.
yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. Darren. Jeez, Darren. Oh, man. And Harry Sphincter is the best. What the Darren Rat? Listen to the dogs barking. What are you talking about? Wait here. Hang on a second. Let me get something up here for Darren while Jesse's messing around. Lee-ba-da-ba-dee.
All right, now it's live on Twitter.
Is Watson and I play for the Browns. I like running, passing, and scoring touchdowns. Now here is something that I bet you don't know. I like sticking things up in my butthole. Yep, no matter what it is,
I'm game for anything. Go get a candle, a salami from the fridge. Just warm it up, please. Oh, maybe just a smidge. A banana, a broomstick, even a flagpole. I like sticking things up my butthole. Go Browns! Thanks for all the money. Yep.
I must say, I had fun doing that. I improv that about an hour and a half ago.
You did well. You did well. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. I said, let me write a country song real quick, and there you go.
I'm surprised it wasn't about you. Well, I'm surprised it wasn't about your lover, your truck, your gun, or your country, because that's generally what it's about, isn't it? And,
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we're going to talk about country music, you know what I always say. They just get the 4 or 5 best stars in the league, and they say, all right, your name now is Jordan. We're going to call you Jordan Trent. Your name over there is Trent Jordan. Now, your name is Blake Colton, and now your name is Colton Blake, and then they have the most phony made-up bullshit, and you say, okay, now you're going to sing about being an American firefighter this month, and you're going to sing about, I don't know, your baby done left you. You're going to sing about, mom on the porch and lemonade and shit like that. Oh, and you're going to sing about the flag. As a matter of fact, all the goddamn one of you are going to sing about the flag. Now go make me a hit. Anyway, let's talk about the goddamn Cleveland Browns. Have you watched any of their games this year?
Yeah, I have watched the highlights. I wouldn't say I've paid massive attention to it. But, as we said before, Myles Garrett got 4 sacks last week. I mean, he was going against Gardner Minshew, so, I don't know what to
That's
say
John's
there.
favorite player.
No, I cut Gardner Minshew. Fuck him, mustachioed bastard, you and your stupid mullet. Anyway, go ahead, Scott.
But yeah, they have got there. There you go. We have got a good. They have got a good defense. Offensively, they're not the best, but I wouldn't say that they're lacking in talent. I mean, Jerry Jeudy's not bad. Amari Cooper, we've seen what Amari Cooper can do in the past, and he has done to us. So it's not that bad.
Judy had a pretty big game last week. I think he had.
And Joku's a good tight end.
Yeah,
and Joku's a good tight end.
He's probably going to be back. I know he was injured the past 2 weeks, and he's a big threat on the tight end position.
He is, and so far we really haven't faced that big threat from the tight end position, unless I'm missing something. Because the Cardinals' big threat from the tight end position didn't play last week. Yeah. So one of the weaknesses that we had seen from this defense historically over the last 5 years or so has been the fact that tight ends can just do whatever the fuck they want with them. And I think we're going to finally see a test for that this week. Let's see these linebackers. Let's see them get out there. Now, how's Jordan McGee? Did I see him coming off the injury?
Yeah.
Obata, McGee, and Mariota all came off. They're in that 21-day window. So we do have one spot available. So we have 52 players. So one spot's available. So I'm assuming it's going to be Obata.
That's what I'm thinking, because he did say, Dan Quinn, earlier that he will have a scrum down with Adam tomorrow and make a decision. I don't think Mariota is going to be there. And if you listen to Dan Quinn's presser on, I think it was Wednesday when they came out, he said he was quite happy with where we are with the quarterbacks at the moment that are in the room. So having Hartman as that third dressed quarterback, he is there, and then Driscoll's obviously the greatest handoff ever in a season, and then you
got to give one to Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez.
Of course,
Adrian
absolutely.
Peterson gone.
And then I'm trying to think of who else is there. McGee. I mean, maybe, but. I
He's
think
more of a
McGee's probably
lineman,
going to be
right?
more. No, McGee's a linebacker, but I think more of a special
rusher.
teamer for him.
More
of a special teamer for him.
Well, I mean, McGee was starting in the summer, so
He was, yeah.
I think.
But who do you take out?
I mean, all you got to do is cut Derek Forrest, and boom, you got it.
There you go. We talked about F.A. Obata and said his name at least 3 times in Scotland.
Absolute facts, John, and I got a cease and desist notice from his mum saying, please don't contact me anymore.
She's not going to give you a pair of his undies.
good
the end
shout,
of that.
Brian. Michael Walker gets cut for McGee.
I don't know. We got wasted defensive backs that are just not playing at all, and
True.
Walker's
Mike Davis.
is good on.
I wouldn't mind cutting Mike Davis.
Walker's good on special teams. Derek Forrest doesn't even play special teams.
He doesn't even play.
He doesn't play
He's
at
been-
all. So
He's been inactive for 4
I
games,
seen him.
Jesse.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what-
I'm not
that's-
sure what the deal is with that, because if you're not going to play him, I mean, what are you holding on to? I mean, I guess you need decent depth, right? And that's what he provides. But if he's not active, it doesn't provide anything unless you have a serious injury.
So the game captains this week, because obviously Dan Quinn likes to do this, are Jeremy Chin from special. He's put him as the special teams
He
side.
played well last week on defense and
on
special
both
teams.
sides. Yeah. Jaden Daniels from the offensive side,
Mike.
and Dorrance Armstrong was the one from the defensive side.
Yeah, he
So
got
it's
his name called twice last week.
Yeah, so it's Jaden, Dorrance Armstrong, and Chin. And when you look at how them 3 played last game, that's probably why they've been recognised to go forward as the captains for this week. So it seems like that's what Quinn's doing. Quinn's saying, hey, we'll move forward with these 3 as captains. It's 3 people who performed well the week before, if you look at that trend.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good thing. Brian puts up here Tyler Owens, Percy Butler, both questionable this week. I'm not sure what's going on with. I know that there's been a couple of days that Tyler Owens hasn't practiced, but I'm not sure what's
He has
going on
a
with Butler.
shin issue for Owens.
A shin issue. A shin issue.
Yeah.
Sounds like something that Ed Sullivan would say, and even though you guys don't know who that is because you're too
I know.
freaking young, you got to have some historical reference. So,
I mean, I hope Percy Butler plays because he's actually been doing okay. I don't think
doing
the
well on
safeties.
special teams.
I don't think the safeties has been the problem this year. It is purely on the corners this year. And if we look at last week's performance, you can't knock Igbenogany for the touchdown to Marvin. It was a great throw, and he was bamboozled, and it wasn't his fault. He went with his runner, and by the time the ball had gone, and he tried to track across, it was like, well, I can't do anything with this. I just can't get near him. And the ball was perfectly placed. So I'm not going to question him last week at all. And Forbes actually had a good game.
He did.
You have to give him his flowers.
Igbenogany, I've liked him since he's been in. I mean, he's not a top corner, so he's going to have his issues out there. But when he's been in, I tell you what, he flies around. He hits hard. He comes in, and that play. Really, he was just on a spot where he was completely 100% trailing in order that the receiver was here, he was here, and the ball was on the exact angle that he couldn't make any angle. And once it's over his head, there was nothing he could do because he's running the same exact track.
One other thing we didn't cover was Jameson Crowder has gone to IR. To short-term IR. Yeah, he's on short-term IR for 4 weeks again. Funny enough, I mean, does that count towards a roster space being on IR or not? I don't know how that works,
I'm not sure
Jesse.
for short-term works or not.
No,
but
it does not count towards it.
As far as I'm concerned,
so is that why we're at 52? Is that what where you're coming from? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe another one to be cut then potentially for these roster moves is Belor on the special teams.
he had a big holding penalty on the in the Giants game, and that's the one thing I remember him for. So and really, from what I'm hearing about
and he
Crowder,
is
Crowder
a
is one of these
linebacker.
guys too. Yeah. Well, is he though? He's just that size.
You have to have a position. If we're talking about the numbers here.
Yeah. See, as far as I'm concerned, Crowder could be a guy that I mean, once they're on that short-term IR, are they immune from being cut, or they can be cut?
They have to have injury settlement.
Injury settlement then if they get cut.
Well, you know what? Here's a Bazooka Joe comic. Get the road. Collect 50 more of these. You can buy a pendant.
I still like him in the return game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As in like catching the ball and kick
I
returns,
guess, but
punt returns.
we haven't missed it.
Crowder.
The thing. What I'm saying
Because
is I'm not
most
saying
teams
get rid of
haven't
him right now.
Because teams only started punting last week.
Well, that's all right. I don't mind so much that.
They've been
What I'm
scored
saying
on
is,
us every fucking drive.
You can't put Zacchaeus back there. I'm saying that he's. What I'm saying is he's a piece that can be maneuvered in that way. If we need to bring somebody up, we need to move somebody around. And Deluxe, my God, what's happened? What happened? Deluxe starts drinking at 3:00 in the afternoon. Apparently, before this show, Mariota will replace Hartman. Get out of here, Mariota. You know what they're going to do? They're going to look at Mariota. They're going to go, "Why are you still here?"
So I think out of the three, FA's the first one off the block. I just said that in the chat there because we need rushers. We need pass rushers. Mm-hmm. We don't. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Where's Jamin Davis at the minute? I didn't see anything about Jamin Davis in that Arizona game.
He was inactive 1 week, and then I kept looking for him. He wasn't on the field very much.
Didn't see him. And that's not his fault. Lawrence Armstrong obviously took over and played well. The two guys up the middle in Payne and Allen played well. Mm-hmm. I think Fowler Jr. was getting about a bit, and I thought, okay, I can see him. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
When's the trade deadline?
Trade deadline is election day for you guys. When's that? The 1st? Is it 1st of November?
First Tuesday in November, whatever that would be.
So it's them.
Maybe they're holding Jamin off a little bit to keep him healthy so that he can be trade bait. Because potential, some guys jump for it, and he's got it.
Thanks, Mike.
Let me turn this up a little bit. I can't see really. All right, so there we go. We do need pass rush. All right, a lot of things were talked about this week about Devontae Adams.
No.
All right. So the simple question right there, Scott, you've already answered it. Would you even consider it, Jesse?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Devontae Adams.
No, not at all.
Okay. I think we're all in agreement there. I think some of these folks that are like, why not go get the veteran receiver? This is how you lose. You don't go after things like this. No, this isn't baseball. We aren't the Yankees. We don't go doing things like that. Because for one, he's got age on him. For two, he's got a giant contract that'll come with him. And for three, our offense is running. Why do we need help at cornerback. We need help at pass rush. If we're going to make a move for a player, if we want to sit there and say, all right, we think we can kick open the window right now, because it's definitely potentially possible. By November, they might have a clearer picture on that, and they say, okay, but we need a pass rusher. And if they make any kind of move at the deadline for a player, that's what I'm thinking. What do you think they might do at the deadline? We'll start with you, Jesse. You've got that look on your face.
If anything, it's going to be a corner pass rusher, but I think they stay put. And for some stupid reason, this shit it stopped working on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. So for me, John, I mean, I would give Carolina a call and say, listen, what are your thoughts for J.C. Horn? He is a very good player, and I think he's stuck in that organization and doesn't particularly want to be there.
Right.
I'm not saying let's fleece them. We've got extra third rounders. Just try and see what we can do. I know Adam Peters doesn't necessarily want to give up draft capital, and he's building more and more draft capital as we're going. I mean, that Dotson trade looks like we've absolutely fleeced the Eagles, which is great
so far.
But at the same time. I think it's a corner or a pass rusher, a defensive end, as Jesse said. But moreover, I think it's probably a corner. And if you can get Horn, who is still on a cheaper contract, that's someone I would go and look at, definitely. Paying Adams like 30-odd million, who's due next season. And even if it's not that, he would want a new contract negotiated. I know the Raiders have an out at the end of this season, I think, as well. So he's in no man's land at the minute, and I don't particularly like him from what he said on. He had a bit of a diva attitude on the receiver show.
Dude,
if you watched
that, he had
a
video out there with our boy Keith and his son in it.
Correct. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, so I don't really want that, and I think he's come out and said he doesn't want to come here anyway. So that's fine by me. That's fine by me.
The feeling is mutual.
Keep an eye on the Browns corner, especially if they lose this game and a couple more before that deadline. You have
it's possible,
Denzel Ward. I think they could very well move on from him because they got a lot of big contracts on those contracts that are younger players that still got some life left. Mm-hmm. And you have Deshaun Watson's inflated fucking contract that maybe they want to, come off with him. And if they're not going to have a season this year, they're not going to be fighting for the playoffs. But like, hey, let's go ahead and trade. We'll trade Denzel for a third or something like that.
That would be a deal.
I'd be all over that in a second.
That's some really good thinking right there.
But
the Browns
I'm not
definitely have those issues.
I'm not even saying just the Browns. I'm talking about other teams too that may not have a year because the Browns were expected to have a year this year.
They were trying to build on it, but they got rid of Joe Flacco, who gave them the year.
True. But They got a lot of money back there. They got Greg Newsome, which is also a good corner ward, and got Grant Delpit at the strong safety. Those players could definitely be on the block to move, and you have other teams like that as well. So I think something could happen. I just don't want to give up high assets because we definitely
agree.
are going to be needed. They're going to be needed. We have the cap space. But we know this team wants to build through the draft.
The other thing when you talk about cap space there, I mean, we've still got 26 million in cap space looking at it there, but the Browns actually have a lot of cap space. They're third, we're fifth. They got 44 million still in cap space. Now, unless they're trying to blow it up and say, hey, you know what, we're probably going to start again. Looking at it next season, they will have the third highest cap space in the NFL. We will be number one again. If we carried this over, we'd have 104 million. Which is massive, to spend in the offseason.
They also have, what's his name, coming up on a contract as well, too. So they're Myles Garrett, I think.
Okay, yeah. Is he due, is he?
Zadarius Smith, what are they going to do with Zadarius Smith as well? I think his contract's up. So even though it looks like they have a lot of money, they kind of don't.
Not especially if something happens to Watson, like he goes to jail and they end up having to eat that goddamn cap. Although I don't think any of his things are criminal right now.
Because I think Myles Garrett, that's a franchise player right there. I don't think
absolutely
they're going to let a player like that walk.
No.
Yeah, I think he's got 1 or 2 years left on his deal.
Tell you what though, Jimmy has.
I'm having a look. I'm having a look now. It's actually a really, really long structured deal. 24. He is 20 million on the cap. Next year he's 19 with no signing bonus. 20 on 2026. Then in 2027 is a void year, but he's still owed 37 million. And then they have void years in 8, 9, 30, and 31.
Yeah, so
he must have signed a new deal there.
Left. How much guarantee in that last year? Because nothing.
He's got nothing next year at all.
Only 20 million. That's kind of chump change when it comes to elite pass rushers now. So
yeah,
he probably won't even step on the field next offseason without a deal.
Yeah, look what Montez
I'm actually looking at this now. So let me go back. Sorry, 2024. So 2025, he's got 10 million in signing bonus, and then his base salary is really low. So they've obviously converted everything into base salary. So looking at it for next year, it's 1.25 million, and then 10 million in signing, 1.3 the year after, and 7 million, and then he's into void years. So basically he's got 2 years left. I will have a look for you now.
That's who I'm interested in. That's the player that I want.
I did promise people fun today, but we're getting math instead. So just deal with it. It's Friday. What else are you doing?
So again, this is obviously how the Browns must structure their contracts, and they must do it this way to try and avoid the cap, because looking at what their base salaries are, again, they are quite small.
They had to do that for Deshaun fucking Watson and his fucking fingers.
So again, he's on 1.125 million, which is exactly the same as Myles Garrett this year, with a signing bonus of 6.8. And then next year, his base salary rockets up to 13.5 million. And as part of guaranteed salary is 12.4. 2026 he's got 16.9, and 2027 he's got 17.4. So he's got 3 years left on that deal.
That's a good deal. I'd take that. You're talking about that's.
So he's got about 35 million ish in 3 years left to go on that.
That's really nothing.
Have him take the place of St. Juice. Forbes will be the cornerback too. And let's fucking rock and roll.
Put Sanistril back where keep developing him in the slot, and I'm all right with that. Let's do something like that. Denzel Ward would be.
So are we going keys to victory, John? Are we going keys to victory? Or have we done that?
No, we haven't done that yet. We'll go keys to victory right now. We'll go ahead and start with Jesse. What's our first key to victory?
Stopping the run.
It's always isn't it stopping the pass though? Last week we saw that we definitely let them run. I mean, I don't want to use the word "let them run," but we got gashed. We were gashed like we get gashed every week. We got gashed because we were getting upfield trying to get to the pass.
I understand why it was like give up the run to contain the pass.
You saw a lot of times where you saw a lot of. I said it on the show on Monday. We did have open lanes. I mean, wide open freaking highways for Connor to run through. But the fact of the matter is, there was a lot of times where I would see Payne like rushing past him as he was hitting the hole, and we're selling out to go get the pass. So I'm wondering, it was a bend but don't break philosophy, and I'm wondering if we don't do that again.
I don't know on that one, because I think they're not as concerned about the pass from Deshaun Watson, because he hasn't been amazing passing. I mean, if you look at the highest
Browns are going to want to run the ball
197.
down.
Absolutely,
You're right.
that is
You're right.
completely what they're going to want to do.
Well, because you never know when Deshaun's got some slippery stuff on his fucking fingers.
Is Watson and I play for the Browns. I like running, passing, and scoring touchdowns. Now here is something that I bet you don't know. I like sticking things up in my butthole. Yep, no matter what it is, I'm game for anything. Go get a candle, a salami from the fridge. Just warm it up, please. Oh, maybe just a smidge. A banana, a broomstick, even a flagpole. I like sticking things up my butthole. Go Browns! Thanks for all the money. Yep.
Sorry.
But that's the thing, Mr. Fink. We
Mr.
did
Sphincter.
know this. We did know this.
We knew that, yeah. We did know that. That was information that was made public, yeah.
That's right. We do know this. Oh, what? Did somebody have a comment there about what I was
No,
talking
not
about?
at all.
No, Sphincter said, I want to tell you something that you did. I bet you didn't know. And I'm
Oh,
just
well,
saying,
you know.
Yeah, we did know.
We did know. But, who knows when the song was written.
And
I think
Jesus,
Keys
you
to
are
victory for
so
me.
optimistic.
He loves it. He loves it. 12 wins, Mike. He absolutely loves it.
It might be 21-0 them.
Yeah, don't go there, Jesse.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
he's the ultimate pessimist over there.
he is.
Y'all know where I'm going with the final score. I'm not optimistic.
That's
about
fine.
this game.
No, that's fine. Last week you predicted a 41-33 beating from the Cardinals, and it turned out almost exactly the opposite. So we'll take that.
For me, I think the keys to victory this week, John, is running the ball. We have to run the ball. We have to run the ball, sell out, run the ball, and then go from there. And it will hopefully open the play action there. Obviously, Noah Brown being out's a big loss, but someone's going to have to step up and take the mantle. Big game needed from probably Zach Ertz this week as well.
Well, as always, you'll need a big game from your tight end when you have a young quarterback, and especially if you've got good corners that are covering well down the field and a good pass rush that can get in and get Jaden Daniels off a spot. You want to get the ball out quick. I don't want to see any more of these Terry McLaurin screens. I don't know
Just
what
rip
to
that
do
out of the
with it.
playbook.
Yeah, I don't know. They're too.
I think they try to set up other stuff with that.
I think that's probably true too, but they set that pass up too fast. We are always beat to the punch on that pass. Maybe if Jaden holds it another tick, that gives that freaking tackle a chance to get over there. I don't know. To me, the key to this game is our offensive line, specifically whoever is looking across the line of scrimmage at Myles Garrett at any given time, because he can move all over the damn place.
And we cannot jump down the offensive line's throat because he's going to get
they're playing
sacks.
well.
Yeah,
He's going to get sacks. It's inevitable.
Like he is a master pass rusher.
He is.
So
He's a Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned.
I think we should all just chill if the offensive line gives up like 3 sacks, because a lot of tension is going to go to him, and that's going to open up something. Not 10 sacks, but he's probably going to get at least 3, I would think. But this team, the Browns are going to. They don't want to shoot out. Okay, they're going to try to grind this game out. Slow it or speed the game up as far as running the ball, and they're going to try to stop the run.
They better not punt. They better not give the ball over, because we don't freaking let the clock stop either. One thing about completing all these passes is that the ball never hits the damn ground. Go ahead, Scotty. What were you saying?
You were literally on the back of your point there, John. We are first in the NFL for time of possession. We are first in the NFL for times that drives are taking as well, like individual drives to score. Right. So in scoring drives, it's the longest. We've got the longest drives, and we also have the longest time of possession. That's key again this week. Keeping it going, keeping that clock running.
Right. I support reality, Mike. Reality.
Jesse is
sounding very much like Scouse at the minute, isn't he? Come on, get on the hype train with me and Mike. We've got you a ticket. Mike's the conductor. It's all good. I'm the fat controller. We're all right. Let's go. Let's get it done. Choo choo all the way. Ride the train. Come on.
Jesse's an athletic supporter. We'll give him that. So Sorry, that was terrible. All right, so my key to the game, like I said, was the offensive line. So we're on to X Factor. So Scotty, go
We
ahead.
are
Your
X
first
Factors.
X Factor of the game. Now, everybody on the show has something called X Factors, so we are going to have to change the name of ours. So yeah, we're going to do our first offensive X Factor.
We did it first though.
Yeah, but
And we do little X Factors.
X Factor.
Okay, my X Factor
That's
this
a
week
good
for
echo.
offense is Luke McCaffrey. I
Okay.
think Luke's going to
Good
have
one.
to step
That's a good
up
one.
and have a good game again. I think he is going to get more targets. Zacchaeus will probably be wide receiver 2, as we've seen the past couple of weeks. But with Brown being out, that ball's got to be shared around, and I think that he's going to get more and more targets. Shorehand Luke, or Slim Jesus, as some people are calling him. You know,
Slim
come on, son.
Jesus. There you go, there, buddy. Walk on water. Go over there.
That's it.
Jesse, who's your first X Factor on offense? X Factor.
X Factor. Austin Eckler. I think he's going to have a big game because I do believe we're going to want to run the football, and I think Eckler needs to have 3 explosion plays, and what we mean like that by that is 20 yards or more. It could be a screen, it could be up the middle, off the tackle, whatever. But I want 3 explosion plays.
There you go. All right, Mike Allen over here puts
a good
X
call,
Factor as
Mike.
the fans, and that's a damn good call, Mike. This is
Yeah.
They're really hyping this game up to try to get the Commanders fans to come out, sell out, and be loud, man. And I think we can, because as we all know, if you get really loud, then there's a good chance that you might rattle Deshaun Watson's butt plug out. And they wear white pants, and that can can be embarrassing. He's not going to like that. And it could be a good thing for us.
I like this one too from Brian John Bates.
I do too.
Yeah, keeping him in, chipping, blocking, helping with Garrett. I think he's going to play a big role in it.
My X Factor for the day, X Factor, is Brandon Coleman. Keep developing, young man. Keep going, young man. You're going to have a test this week. If Myles Garrett likes the smell of a rookie and he comes over on your side, don't be afraid of that, man. Be violent. He's been very good so far, and I want to see it continue. We need him to continue that because we can't have Garrett coming around forcing fumbles with a backside hit.
He pancaked Hendrickson multiple times.
It was
yeah.
crazy.
And Hendrickson is a fierce pass rusher. So
Absolutely, one of the best in the game, and he has been for a few years. But the thing with Hendrickson is he doesn't get the hype that your Myles Garrett's, your other people, TJ Watts get, because he doesn't make a big fuss about it, and he just goes on and gets on with the game. He's a very, very good player.
All right, well, too bad for him. We kicked his ass. Brandon
We
Coleman,
did.
my X Factor. All right, Jesse, give me an X Factor for defense.
the linebackers, I'm going to say Bobby Wagner. We got to stop this run. We need to hope Chubb's not playing. I think if Chubb plays, it's all over. But Jerome Ford is not a bad running back at all.
Chubb is the guy that likes to go 90 yards. He had so many 90-yard runs in one season. I mean, and when I say so many, it was like 3 or 4. And I'm thinking, how many? What's the record of 90-plus yard runs in a season? That dude was fucking crazy.
Chubb's elite, man. He's elite. But Jerome Ford,
He's good.
I have you on my Dynasty League, so if you want to get a touchdown, that's fine. I'll give you that. Give me some points. But
What did he just say? Oh, my
But
God.
holding Ford or Chubb to less than 60 yards is
Yeah, that's for you. Go ahead and get a touchdown. Go ahead and get a touchdown.
in garbage time. In garbage
Yeah,
time.
whatever.
Come on now.
All right, garbage time, which was when you think that they're going to be up by 40 points. All right,
Well,
Scotty,
maybe.
give me a defensive X Factor. X Factor.
X Factor. My X Factor for the week is John Allen. Can you put it together for another week, mate? Two on the trot. Can you do 2 on the trot? I don't know. We need interior pass rush as well as rushing from the side. Because as I said at the start of the show, this offensive line is massively beat up for the Browns, and we can get to Deshaun Watson, and that will help us win this game ultimately.
Absolutely. All right, so for my defensive X Factor, look, that video of Frankie Louvu in the locker room, What did you call it, Scott? It's not a haka. What did you call it?
It's the sippy towel from Samoa.
There you go, the sippy towel. Listen,
Sounds
that
dirty.
thing had me ready to suit up and run through a fucking wall. I think that that thing is simple enough that we could get the whole stadium doing that. Could you imagine that before the game, the whole fucking stadium doing that? It wasn't hard. What they could just put it on the big screens and fucking
With a Ric Flair.
tell everybody what to say, and then yeah, woo at the end. My God, that would be awesome. That would be hair raising. I'm talking to you, Commanders. I'm talking to you. This is an opportunity. That video was spectacular in how you are able to hype up a team. And the thing that I like the most about it, it was fucking real. It was real. All right, we've seen John Allen get out there and make speeches. We've seen fucking stupid ass goddamn let me eat a W, ooh, and nobody believes in that shit. But that was a team believing. That was a team that's got each other's back and believes in each other. The cascade effect. Go ahead.
One of the greatest things I've ever seen in sport live was at the 2015 Rugby World Cup at my local team stadium at Newcastle. I went to St James's Park, and I watched New Zealand against Tonga at the same time, and they were doing the haka at the same time the sippy towel was being done. So it was like a proper war dance between the two teams right before the start. It was electric, man, and they got the effects mics right next to them. Oh, that shit was cool. Yeah,
there
that
you
was
go.
cool.
See here, stadium, and see here, Commanders. You want a filled out stadium, you give them something to holler about, and that will get us hollering, and that will make the other team piss their pants. That's my X factor. Go ahead.
Brian in the chat says Forbes, so hopefully he'll get another take another step forward and get a pick. That'd be great. And Mike,
We need one.
Says a pick 6, Brian. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Well, I gave you kind of a half-assed X factor. My X factor is Frankie Louvu, all right? And it's not just because of that video. That video kind of led me into it. But this dude's a leader, man, and I want him to get out there. The best thing I like about him is when he hits violently. He hits and throws a guy down like he's just like the guy is just a sack of flour and doesn't mean anything to him. So that's what I want to see. Frankie Louvu, get out, lead the way, man. Stop those shots in the hole. Stop those freaking running backs in the hole. Be violent. Take Deshaun Watson and hit him so hard that his butt plug falls out. That's what I'm after. All right, so go ahead.
No, I think we can get I think we can get some sacks on Deshaun Watson. So
I want a turnover.
I did too.
I want a sack fumble. We got one turnover this year. That is I mean, we've bitched about the defense the whole entire season, but last week they stepped up big time, right? They stepped up and they played a good game. 4 sacks. They played a really good football game. But one turnover in 4 games, that's not a winning anything. I want to see 2 turnovers tomorrow. I want to see a sack fumble of Mr. Buttplug, and I want to see an interception, man. I want to see these cornerbacks step up and take something.
I think Jesse's got ducks in his house over there, but yeah.
Is that what it is?
Flying ducks, yeah.
That's what I think
walking
about
around.
the defense.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
Deluxe. This is what Deluxe thinks about your ass.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, so before we go,
Predictions?
we go ahead and give our score predictions. We got to do that, and I'm going to go one more time, play a Harry Sphincter for everybody. Go ahead, Jesse, give me your score prediction, please.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than many people think. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight, and it's whoever runs the ball best. And I think it's going to be Cleveland. It's going to win 20-16. Cleveland Browns. Come back down to earth a little bit.
All right, Scotty, what about your prediction since we don't want to hear from Jesse anymore?
27-20 of the good guys, Commanders.
The good guys.
27-20.
There you go. Attaboy. There you go. That's the right one. I'm going to go 34-23, Commanders. Good guys. We are going to keep this thing going. We're going to run the ball well. Jaden's going to continue to keep himself in check, not make the killing mental error. And we are going to roll over a team that is ready to be rolled over. Like
Mike,
we used to be.
56-6, he's saying.
I'm with Mike. Way to go, Mike. Oh, no, wait. Attaboy. There you go.
That's the one.
Smack him off too much. All right, so one more time for those in the back. So any of you people that have been watching on YouTube, please go tell your friends on Twitter. We've had all kinds of problems. If you're watching on Twitter, please come over here on YouTube and watch this, because this is the kind of stuff that you get when you watch the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. and I got to do it a different way. So here we go, and there we go. Mr. Hamster, you up inside my ass. Oh, Mr. Hamster, Mr. Hamster, all up inside my ass. You better stop your running round. I'm on TV and I got to throw a pass. You known it all along.
It's this one, the 90s effect.
I told you in my song. Now won't you be my friend? Get something rounded on the end. Make sure it's long and straight, 'cause that's what feels great. I got nowhere to go.
Sorry, that was off key there.
Nice and slow, and stick it up my butt. Up my butt. Lick your finger, baby, lick your thumb. Lick your fingers, oh baby, lick your thumb. Ball your hand into a fist and stick it up my bum.
There's people that have just come in. Hi.
I know you know me, my name gets around. I'm the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Now stick it in. Go on and get the Crisco. That woman don't be no fool.
Get the Crisco.
I said go on and get the Crisco. That woman don't be no fool. Strap on this here dildo. Ride this Sean like a ready mule. Watson and I play for the Browns.
This is the best.
Passing and scoring touchdowns. Now here is something that I bet you don't know. I like sticking things up in my butthole. Yep. No matter what it is, I'm game for anything. Go get a candle, a salami from the fridge. Just warm it up, please. Oh, maybe just a smidge. A banana, a broomstick, even a flagpole. I like sticking things up my butthole. Go Browns! Thanks for all the money. Yep.
All right, and let me get rid of. Do I have to do this again? How do I get rid of that thing?
I think you have to leave, don't you, and come
Do I
back
have to
in?
do it again? Wait a minute. Let me.
Yeah.
There we go. No, I don't. There we go. Hey, I
Oh,
figured
yeah,
it out
good.
this time. All right, so I think it was a pretty good Browns preview show. Don't you? Okay, look.
Luke McCaffrey will have a breakout game.
All right, so that's another little X factor there. Luke McCaffrey's going to have a breakout game, and I would like to see that because he's come close. He's getting closer. But getting back to what we were talking about with Devontae Adams, man, dude, there's no reason. Our
No, I
receivers
don't
are doing
see one at
fine.
all. Yeah.
Even you can sit there and you can say we have no star power, and people will argue Terry all day long, but it doesn't make any difference with this squad right now.
I would see if our receivers were dropping the ball or not getting separation, not getting.
They're not-
but that's not the case. They're catching
Everything's
everything.
working. Yeah.
If anything, Terry's missed a couple balls, but other than that,
Yeah. Well, I mean, he hasn't missed them. They've just been overthrown.
that one went right through his hands. There's actually been two this year as I have.
Tell you what, the touchdown in the fourth quarter last week, where he's like this, that ball goes through his fucking hands and hits him in the shoulder. And he's able
doesn't
to
have
grab
great
it.
hands. He
It's like,
doesn't.
dude,
He's a body catcher.
He is a body catcher. You gotta get them, but he's got small hands. And I saw when that happened, they're showing it in slow motion. Okay, well, whatever, man, it worked, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take Terry, and the fact of the matter is, I think it's a big thing that Noah Brown's not playing this week. Is there anybody coming up to take the spot? I mean, not necessarily his spot, but to come up and take that roster spot? Are we still at 52? You said, Jesse?
Yeah, 52 at the minute.
52. But I mean,
possibly are they maybe looking at?
He's still
looking
on the
at
roster.
Robinson?
He can't counts against the 53. It's just
Yeah, he's just having a he's just out. He's just not going to be active. That's
Yeah,
it. He's
he's
not
gonna
on
be inactive.
injured reserve or anything. He's just going to be inactive for the game. So
So if we've got 52, we're unable to bring somebody because I'm thinking. I wonder if Robinson was a surprise to me on the injury list this week.
I think it was a surprise to everybody, but it seems like he's good to go. He even sent out a tweet with a big thumbs up. So.
Good. So veteran rest day, I guess. He has been carrying a lot.
Something to do with the groin is what they were saying, I think, for Robinson, wasn't it?
Well,
was it a groin?
Like I said, you can elevate 2 practice squad players. I mean, you can, but they have to be elevated to the active roster. And the fact that you have 3 players coming off of the IR in that 21-day window, they're more likely going to elevate Obata. Or
I think so too.
To take that 53rd spot.
That'll get Scott going. Let's go, FA.
Let's go.
Look, man. The one thing I like
good
most
if we
about
actually had a video of Scott doing that.
well, no, it wouldn't really. Really, it
We
wouldn't.
do.
Well, we do have.
That wasn't Jesse's butler, Mike. It's the repo man.
Right. I just this one I guess.
Jesse's Castle went was the over in the LA and San Francisco. It was 40.
That is a little slower though.
It is a little slower because he's taking his time. He's making it last. He's having himself a good time. Maybe he's just in the beginning stages of it there. And if you didn't notice, that was during our NFL picks show that we do on Saturday afternoons, and it's exciting. I mean, Scott might. He might do that for you. You never know. If you're feeling like something a little naughty, a little something different on Saturday afternoon, come on in and watch Scotty possibly bump his baloney. Speaking of which, what time are we on tomorrow, fellas? 2:30.
2:30. Yeah, if you can go.
All right, yeah, I can go. I'm
Cool.
perfectly fine with that. My prostate's just the size of a peanut, like it's supposed to be.
Okay. I thought it was meant to be a walnut, but never mind. Okay, whatever.
I'm not having a poo.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're not having a poo here. The fact of the matter is that tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon on Eastern Standard Time, Scott and Jesse and I will get together to make NFL picks. Scott, can you give us kind of like without getting out the Big and Boss book, which, by the way, the Big and Boss book, I have heard that the National Archives is interested in it when we're finished with it.
I think they are, yeah. Looking at my scribbles all day, yeah. No, I can't tell you how we did. I've no idea. I think, but I honestly haven't even looked at it. So
We're disappointed. I mean, one thing I'm doing, now, the National Archives did come after it and say they wanted to look at it after it was all said and done. But you are an Englishman, and we are holding out for the Tower of London. I would like to see it in there with the crown jewels. That's where I think it belongs.
that would be nice, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, then. So tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon, we will make some picks about the NFL, make some bets about the NFL, have ourselves a good time, and talk about all kinds of stupid shit that we didn't talk about today because it's about the general NFL. And I'll tell you what, there's some fun shit that's going on out there.
There is.
Yeah, and we'll get with y'all tomorrow about that, and then we will be back
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday directly after the football game. We get a normal football game this week, 1 o'clock
1
Sunday
o'clock
afternoon.
football game. Thank goodness.
Love those. So we will be on right after that with the 1 Point Safety Show and the Bunker. Any combination of the people that are on those shows are going to show up in whatever condition they are to talk about whatever it is they just saw for about 20 or 30 minutes so that you can come in and come down with us. And then Monday, of course, at 5:30, we will be on to discuss the game in depth. And, of course, you see how that's done around these parts. We make jokes about Deshaun Watson putting things up his ass. I'm all right with that. Got anything left?
I think that might
Was that a
be-
frog I heard? Or was that Jesse's ass needing to be cleaned out again?
I think it was a frog. That wasn't me that time. I think that might have been Scotty.
Show us that jersey again, Scott, if you got it handy.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Go ahead and give the shout out again. This is awesome.
Commander
This is
Nash.
great.
He's sent me a signed RG3 jersey, which you can't see because that way it's
Yeah,
there.
there it is.
Yep. So it's an official RG3 jersey as worn as well, old Reebok style, which is awesome. And I have in front of me as well the certificate of authenticity. So very good. I'm going to get that framed and put on and get rid of that shelf behind me of the shelf of rubbish. And then.
The shelf of rubbish must stay. It's like a Hall of Fame
maybe.
piece by
You
now.
need to put it like right to the right hand side of that shelf of rock.
I mean, look, there you go. Look,
We ought to
that's
have
what
like
you wanna
NFL
get.
Network show up at Scott's house to show just how into it these UK fans are, so he could stand there and show off his.
Oh,
tiny
dude,
little
I got this coffee mug and a couple
I don't
of hats.
have. Exactly, I don't have memorabilia. I'm not into that at all, really much, to be honest. But
I'll tell you
you
what
can
I
go
would
to
love.
go to somewhere like go to Scouse's. I'm serious. It is like a treasure trove of signed jerseys, signed photos. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff he's got. And other people
of guys,
like that too.
A couple of guys over in this country named Guido going, "Hey, we got one over in Liverpool. It'll pay for practically anything."
Yeah.
They're signing shit themselves.
You ever seen John Reagan's signature? Neither is he. Just write it on there. Whatever. I had something that I was going to say, but I forgot what it was, and that's just how it goes. It was actually important, so I'll remember it by tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon, where we will find out whether or not we will make some money or not. And until then, I'm John. That's Scott. That's Jesse. Max will be on when he's getting back from his vacation in Florida, and we will see you next time.